Hello chums, welcome, Robert Ross here, Britain's comedy historian. It's Tuesday, the 2nd of February 2021. 50 years to the day since the very first episode of Bless This House was broadcast, the classic Thames television sitcom starring the one, the only, Mr. Sidney James. As you well know, my all-time favourite comedy personality. 50 years, my gosh. I remember watching it, I think, towards the end of the run as a wee bairn on my mother's knee, I'm sure. But I certainly remember them repeating them on ITV in the mid-80s when I used to record them illegally, I'm sure, to keep and watch again and again. But what a great series, created by Harry Driver and Vince Powell, who wrote the very first episode called The Generation Game, which was broadcast today, 50 years ago. Sid James and Diana Coupland as the Abbotts, with Robin Stewart and Sally Geeson as their troublesome teenage kids, Mike and Sally. I remember Vince Powell telling me, because it's often easy to forget that Sid James was a comedy force on television for a good 15, 16, 17 years, since the Hancock's Half Hours days, up until Bless This House in 1971. Many sitcoms and tragic comedy dramas like Taxi throughout the years on the small screen. But there was a meeting apparently at Thames Television, including the producer-director who made Bless This House, William G. Stewart, and Vince Powell, the writer, was holding court with Sid James in the room, and all the executives were saying, well, what can we do with Sid James next? We can have Sid James the bookie, or Sid James the pub landlord. And Vince Powell broke the moment and stood up and said, I think we should have Sid James as a married man with kids. And Sid James said, I know, not I think, I know Vince Powell is right. So that was the birth of Bless This House. And it became Sid's biggest personal situation comedy. He loved making it. So much so that he was making it right towards the end. They did announce in the TV Times in 1976 for the 6th series that Sid said this is the last series. And actually the last episode was broadcast just 4 days before Sid James died. But I think they might have come back. It was so popular, and all 4 of the principals enjoyed making it so much that I think they might have come back for a 7th series. But anyway, they didn't, alas. But all we have is 65 classic episodes. And if you tune into ITV3 at the moment, they're about halfway through series 6. So you can watch those last few from March, April 1976, the last few episodes. But if you want to keep the whole lot in your collection, of course, and emulate Comedy Cottage, what self-respecting comedy fan would not want all the episodes of Bless This House? You've got to turn to our dear friends at Network DVD. Now, this is series 1. I'm currently ploughing through this and reliving these wonderful shows from 50 years ago. The great thing about the network collection is that a lot of the previous releases on VHS and DVD, they jumped the first, I think, 7 episodes were made in black and white because of the very famous now ITV technical strike, where a lot of the colour cameramen were not working and they were shooting in black and white. It affected a lot of shows like the Carry On Again Christmas special and Doctor at Large and the first 7 Bless This House. The black and whites are on this collection, so fear not, you get the whole lot. And here is the box set. Oh yes, all 65 episodes here in series 2. I won't go for the whole lot. The bonus, the plum in the pudding, of course, is you also get the 1972 film version, directed by Carry On Gerald Thomas and produced by Carry On Mr. Peter Rogers. So it's Sid James and the gang. Couple of cast changes. Robin Stewart was replaced by the Asquith. Rowan Asquith came in to play Mike, the son, in the film, and the wonderful Anthony Jackson, who played Trevor, the neighbour, was replaced by the equally wonderful Peter Butterworth. So it was a real carry-on cast for the feature film. That came, actually, if you want to watch them in order, that came, they shot this in the summer of 1972. So watch the first 2 series first, then the film, then pick up at series 3 and you get Robin Stewart back to play the son. But that's the lot. So look, if you want to wallow in 50 golden years of Bless This House, invest in the network box set. In the meantime, enjoy Sid James, enjoy the gang, and carry on laughing. See you soon. Bye for now.